All right, Dan, you ready for a finish here, buddy?
Yep, it's going to be exciting. When we talked about it as a driver, I'll tell you what, you know, we're inside 7 laps to go here. If you're up in that top 4, you've got to just stand on it. You know, conservative is out the window. You just got to do everything you can. If the car gets a little sideways, that's what you like. You got to stand up and drive it. Looks like they're waving the yellow flag. They waved the green flag.
The lights
off,
come back on.
Possibly the lineup is not right at this point.
Guess what? The lineup is not right. I thought they were going to park guys when the lineup was not right. Just black flag them, but apparently we're going to stay under yellow.
Right.
Okay. Well, also the tow truck's coming out on the racetrack too, so that might mean. So, oh yeah, there's Pritchard. He stopped. That's another good reason. Just keep the yellow out. That would not be good to do a restart and have a car stopped in the middle of the track. Well, Logano, Lopez, Hayes, and Earnhardt will be your top 4. Brian Chu is 5th. And then Jerry Marquis, Chase Austin, Mark Davis. I haven't mentioned Jeff Anton's name, but he's running 9th. And Tim Andrews 10th. That's the way they'll restart with 6 laps remaining. Joey Logano now in position to win this race, Natalie.
You know, it's interesting that he is in that position because he was saying today that there was no way he was going to do well tonight. He said basically he had a top 10 car, no way had a top 5, and surprise, surprise, look where he's at. And speaking of Joey Logano, they were happy, his crew that is, where he was just because of the points. They were talking about how important restarts are, and you know he's had success during those restarts. So if he stays out of trouble, who knows, it could be 4 tonight for Joey.
Well, you're right. We talked about those 3 wins in the series, and don't forget that win at Phoenix where he just dominated the West Series race. Well, the light is out now, and they're double file, and so we'll see. Lopez, Logano, Hayes, and Earnhardt. Those are the front 2 rows as we try to decide things here in Nashville, coming up on 5 laps to go.
Now they're calling it off again. Obviously another problem with the lineup. Unfortunate. Man, as a driver, I mean, we hate this. We hate this when they call us off. You get that energy up, you're ready to go, you tighten the belts, you're focused,
and another car dies on the backstretch.
Yeah, and unfortunate. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. That's a 50 car, Todd Peck.
Almost said Tom Peck.
Yep, Tom Peck. He's part of the Tom Peck family. Obviously, I believe it's one of his sons.
His uncle, Tom Peck.
Uncle Tom. Tom's been
drove
around.
in the Busch Series. Todd's 21 years old. Spent a couple of seasons in the Pro Cup Series out of Glenville, Pennsylvania. And his Chevy's come to a stop on the backstretch, so the light came back on. So much for the drama of the restart. And there's another car in 1 and 2. Check that out, Dan. It's slow and it's going to stop. We got cars stopping all over the racetrack. There's one at the entrance to turn 1 that has come to a stop as well.
2 of them down there. Not sure if these cars are running out of gas at this point or what.
That's the word we are getting from NASCAR, is that these cars are running out of fuel.
Yep, another one down on the bottom side. Not sure who that is, following the leader. Well, so I tell you what.
Let's get Natalie, if you would. Natalie, check on Joey Logano or Lopez and see how they are on fuel. What's the story, Natalie?
Well, basically, you know, the Rogelio's crew is just pumped. They say this is going to be his tonight. And while Joey, on the other hand, they're trying to conserve fuel like you guys were just saying and hoping he continues to stay smart. You know, Joey's plan in the beginning was to just cut around during the beginning of the race and middle and save it for the end. So who knows? Maybe we'll have an exciting one.
Natalie, do me a favor and ask one of those crew chiefs just how close they are on fuel towards the end of this race. I know these caution laps are helping, but is there any chance that those guys are going to run out of fuel before the end of the race?
Oh, I'll definitely get on it. You know, like I said.
Thanks. And then we'll get back to Natalie in just a moment when she checks those guys out just a little bit.
Joey Logano, Dan Partisan, HD Net booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud. Looks like you have got one heck of a race car here this last 25 laps. You have just rocketed to the front. You think you got what it takes to put it victory lane?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a pretty good restart here on the outside for line. So right now, we're kind of worried about running out of gas, I think. A lot of guys are running out, I think. So these last 3 laps have been pretty interesting.
Roger. Well, good luck to you, and hopefully you can make it to the end.
All right, thanks.
All right, well, that should be the big report we're going to get now is who's going to run out of gas.
Wow.
Look at all those cars bunching up together. Okay, Dan, you're caution. How do you conserve fuel right now if you're one of these top guys?
Well, you put it in a real high gear, maybe 2nd or 3rd gear, and try and keep them RPMs down just as low as you possibly can. If you see some of these guys, the 35 car, Jerry Marquis, down on the bottom of the racetrack, he's riding on the apron to keep because the suction comes out on the right side tank of these cars. So if you're up on this bank and all the fuel goes to the left and starts sucking air, causes major problems.
And what happens if we have a green-white checker? What happens if we have to go overtime?
Well,
and then we see all the leaders could start running. What drama this could happen then?
It could be big. It could be big, but looks like we're going to go green this time by. So, you know, hopefully we can get this race over with and no more of these cars will run out of fuel.
Well, that's what's happened. It's caused these cautions to come out here. His cars have simply run out of gas. And you heard Joey Logano say he's worried about it. Natalie's checking with a couple of the crew chiefs. But they're only going to be like 3 laps to go here. 2 next time by, the way we have it on our score sheet.
Watch this outside line because it has been working for these guys.
Get it now, get it, get it.
You can't conserve fuel now, you got to go. And that's what Logano and Lopez are doing, but it's Rogelio. What a great jump. What a car he has.
He does, but Joey Logano works real good on the bottom of the racetrack, too, so he's got to get in his groove here in a lap or 2 and possibly dive down to the bottom of Rogelio Lopez.
White flags coming out this time by. Can Logano catch Rogelio Lopez?
Joey looking to the bottom, drove too hard down in the corner, shoved the nose in the center. He's got to get a good corner down in 3, Mike, to make it work.
Only chance he's got as they come up on some lap traffic. Will it come into play? Around through 4, Logano really pumping it, but Lopez is going to hold him off. Rogelio Lopez wins his first ever NASCAR Grand National Series race, and he does it here in the inaugural event in Nashville, Tennessee.
Helio just doing an outstanding job. We talked about it, tire management, and he's done that here tonight at Nashville to have the tires that he needed to the end to put it in victory lane.
Well, hopefully he'll have enough gas to make it around to victory lane.
He's got to be one happy camper to come here.
I'll tell you, what a night, what a race we had here tonight. And a lot of different names running up front. Sean Case had problems, the pole sitter. But Logano, who ran 9th and 10th all day long, comes home to finish 2nd. He'll maintain the points lead. His teammate, Mark Davis, comes back up through the field. Strong run to finish 3rd. Just did edge out Jeffrey Earnhardt, who was 4th. And then it was the 99 of Brian Chu, who finishes in the 5th position. Jamie Hayes, who led the most laps here tonight, comes home in 6th place. Jeff Anton 7th. Tim Andrews, a ninth top 10 with 8th. And Jerry Marquis, his first time in the 35 car, finishes 9th. Richard Gould 10th, and a little burnout, and why not some excitement on the part of Rogelio Lopez. Out of Mexico, and he is and should be excited to win here tonight in the inaugural Music City 150.
Got a little bit of rubber left there, made some smoke, so that's a good thing. Just doing everything right, listening to his crew on the radio, take care of tires, conserve, be there at the end. He done all the above, and that's what put him in victory lane here tonight.
You know what's going to be interesting when Natalie talks to him, too, is how close was he to running out of fuel there at the end? And if we'd gone to overtime and to a green-white checker, what would have happened?
Yep, and as a driver, you got to put all that out of your mind, especially inside of a green-white checker. You cannot conserve fuel within 3 laps. You have to race hard. You just have to go as hard as you can and hope for the best.